Hi, I'm Dr. Jackson, and today we will be discussing about dementia. Although many people may associate dementia to just Alzheimer's disease, there are different types of dementia as well. In this video, we will delve into how these different types of dementia affect the brain and the patient's functions. In general, dementia is a chronic disease in which cortical function, cognitive skills, logical thinking and judgment, and motor coordination is impaired. But the brain is altered differently in each type of dementia. In the brains of those with Alzheimer's disease, progressive cortical atrophy occurs. Basically, the outer layer of the cerebrum slowly degenerates. Senile plaques and neurofibrillary tangles in the neurons are also found in large numbers in those with this disease. There is also a decrease in the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, or ACH. There is no specific cause of why this disease occurs, but the National Institute on Aging is investigating into genetic and other likely factors, such as an exposure to metals, viruses, and metabolic syndrome. It started when she was in her late 50s. At first, I thought it was just because she was getting old, because she started forgetting what day it was, what pills she needed to take that day, stuff like that, so I didn't pay any attention to it. But then she started getting mood swings. At the drop of a hat, she would start cursing and yelling at anyone who was in the room, and then only a minute later, she would be back to her sweet old self. That's when I decided to take her to the doctor. When we found out she had Alzheimer's, we didn't know what to do. There's no specific treatment, but when she started forgetting our names, slurring her speech, and not even taking care of herself anymore, we decided to put her into an apartment complex with an at-home nurse to watch over her. She still had her apartment, but eventually she was bedridden since she started forgetting how to walk, and she doesn't even remember who we are anymore. She's still receiving treatment, but who knows how much time she has left. Another type of dementia is vascular dementia. This is caused by cerebrovascular disease and is most often caused by multiple small brain infarctions. This type of damage causes inadequate blood flow throughout the brain, which leads to neurological impairment. Although aging is a major risk factor for this disease, other risk factors are similar to the ones that cause cardiovascular disease, such as smoking, high blood pressure and cholesterol, an unhealthy lifestyle and diet, and alcoholism. Now, I told my husband to stop drinking all the time to lose some weight. So when I found out he had vascular dementia and that high blood pressure can cause all that, I told him 4 words. I told you so. Of course, he doesn't even remember when I warned him about that. He barely even remembers who I am anymore. Now that he can't even walk because he has paralysis on the left side of his body, I have to take care of him 24/7. But what else is new? But when he gets confused about who I am or what day it is, or he can't even speak to me on some days, I still love him with all my heart. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, another type of dementia, is a rare disease but it rapidly progresses. This is caused by an altered infectious protein particle, or PRP, called a prion. This prion in particular has a preference for nervous tissue and alters the gene that codes for protein shape. Where this prion comes from is unknown, but some cases have been familial and others iatrogenic through sources like surgery, corneal transplants, and other surgical procedures. This disease is very dangerous because it has a long incubation period in which more abnormal prions can multiply and spread. This causes the rapid destruction of neurons, the formation of plaques, and the creation of vacuoles in the neurons. I've always taken care of my sister since she was a little girl because I'm her big brother. That's my job. So when I found out she had this rare disease, I took it upon myself to take care of her no matter what. But just in the span of 8 months, it got worse and worse. At first, it was just her memory that was going bad, but then she started getting angry all the time, which is unusual because she was always such a sweet person. When she started losing her ability to walk and needed a wheelchair, that's when I knew I couldn't take care of her no more. Eventually, I had to take her to the ICU since she went into a coma. Apparently, the disease can do that to you. The doctor told me she maybe just has 4 months left to live because people don't live past a year. But my sister isn't like most people. Yes, she may be in a coma, but my sister is strong, and I know that she will tough it out. I just know it. Although this is not always discussed when people bring up the topic of AIDS, in the later stages of this disease, dementia commonly occurs. This happens because the virus invades the brain tissue and can be exacerbated by other infections as well. Because AIDS causes severe immunosuppression, this allows for increased infections to occur, which leads to the neurological impairment commonly seen in dementia patients. Not only does this affect aging adults, but in children who have congenital HIV infection, the brain is most commonly infected, causing mental retardation and a delay in the development of motor functions.
My grandpa used to call me Honeybee a lot, but now he doesn't really call me anything anymore. Sometimes it's just you, and other times he just looks at me really confused. My mommy told me he has trouble remembering a lot of things, so she told me not to feel bad. You could tell my grandpa was getting sick because he used to run around with me in the park and tell me amazing stories. But now he forgets what he was saying in the middle of the story he told me a gazillion of times. He also got a really cool cane because he can't walk that good anymore. He doesn't really smile anymore either. He just looks like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. That's my favorite show. Even though he doesn't remember me anymore, my mommy told me that deep down I will always be his honeybee.
Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease is another type of dementia. Nope. This is caused by an nope, but is rapidly caressed. This happens because the virus invades the brain. Nope. In the later
I'm going to lose it.